Today on Homeworthy, we're on Australia's stunning Mornington Peninsula, visiting Alishia Misevski and her fiancé, Lenny Redrose, at their beautiful dream home. Designed to be both beautiful and accessible for Lenny, who uses a wheelchair, this house is a masterclass in thoughtful design.
This is Lenny's department. So from a design perspective, this is where it was super important that we made this area recessed. I wanted to make sure that Lenny could, come in, do his thing, and be comfortable, not injure his shoulders, which are obviously very important for him. And yeah, this is literally his position in the house.
Alishia began this renovation journey with her father, who sadly passed away before its completion. But his spirit is felt in every corner of this home he helped bring to life.
This is my dad's briefcase, Big Nick's. He used to hound us and bring it on every family holiday and not open it. It is so weathered, it's just busted. But I purposely placed it here so when I'm having a bit of a down day or a bit of a lull, I use this as inspiration for me to not give up.
Elegant, playful, and deeply personal, Alishia and Lenny's home is as fun and full of heart as they are.
Love you, babe.
Love you.
To watch Alishia and Lenny's full episode ad-free, scan the QR code or click join below. You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi Homeworthy, I'm Alishia Misevski.
And I'm Lenny Redrose.
Welcome to our home. Come on.
Let's rock and roll.
Hi guys, my name's Alishia Misevski.
Hey folks, my name's Lenny Redrose.
And welcome to our home on the Mornington Peninsula.
So the way Alishia and I met was, she's a stalker, but it was through, so my cousin Tay and Alishia's sister's best mate Rachel, she shared my podcast on Instagram, and Leash came across it, and here we are.
Well, I'll further elaborate. It was during COVID time, so it was a bit of a dark days for us here in Melbourne, and I'd come across Lenny's podcast and I thought, I will give him a little bit of a stalk, see what this guy's about. And I saw this fine looking fella in a wheelchair doing workouts with no tops on, ever. And I'm thinking, what's going on? Had to look at, read his little quotes and all that sort of stuff and realised he's actually quite deep and he had quite a story. I did feel the need to reach out to him and just thank him for sharing his story. He actually really inspired something in me at that time. Didn't think anything else of it, went on to listen to the podcast and realised he is the male version of me. Very straight to the point, not
Crazy.
Afraid to speak your truth. And I thought that was amazing. And then he reached out to me, we got talking, realised we knew a lot of the same people. And then we thought it'd be a good idea to go for a walk. Now, guys, stranger danger, I ticked all the boxes. He can't chase after me. He can't steal my organs. I can run away from him. So I was fine. He knew a lot of the same people, so we're fine. But then when he mentioned he's going to drive to my neck of the woods, I was rather confused. How on earth does someone in a wheelchair drive a car? To what I then said to you was, are you getting someone to drive your car to me because your legs don't work, so how are you going to drive a car? And I think that's what
Really
started
got me,
off
yeah.
our bond because...
Definitely.
And then literally the rest is history. We just got to know each other and our friendship grew very, very quickly and then came the feelings. And now we are engaged with our first child, Attilio, who's the superstar of the family. I'm
Little
sorry.
Tilsy.
He's taken over.
That's fine.
Yep, so new house, kid, a dog, Freddie, Mr. Freddie the Schnauzer, who isn't here with us today. Our life is...
No, he's here, but he's just not here.
Not physically here.
Yeah.
He's still alive. Yeah, we just...
Ticked a lot of boxes in our short period of time.
We really jammed life in really, really quickly. Overseas trips, Invictus games. I need to mention he's an Invictus player over here. We've done a lot.
Love you, babe.
Love you.
So when we first saw this house, it was, love at first sight. We had cruised around a fair bit around Victoria and Melbourne. We're looking for something with a bit of land. But when we saw this, you know, with the type of homes that we love, it's always been something with a bit of character, heritage style homes. And when we got here, I couldn't get into the house. So the house is, it's 550 elevated off the ground with some steps. So we had Alicia's mum, Leash, and the real estate agent here. And I'm like, hey dude, I can't get into the house, can you help me get in by lifting me in? We walked in, I didn't walk in, Leash walked in. And we saw the fireplace behind us. It was roaring, and we're like, "Wow, this is just gorgeous!"
The
like
vibe, the vibe in here,
and the
literally
smell
sucked
with
us
the
in.
with the wood and the smoke. And we knew what we were doing. As soon as we got here, we're like, "This is going to happen here. That's going to happen there." We really saw it all. Even outside, there's so many things that we saw, and it just came perfectly.
So the style of the house is Federation. It was built around 20 years ago. So the original owners have only lived in here.
Yeah, Mark and Lisa. Mark was the bricklayer for the home, so he laid the bricks.
Every single brick.
Every single brick. It took him 12 months. So on a Saturday, Sunday, he would come and do the hard labour. And that was obviously part of the reason why we also loved it, like the actual connection that he's had with the home, like laying everything one by one.
It was just a home full of love. As soon as you walked in, the energy of this home just sucks you in. So I think we fell in love instantly with the character, the story.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so here we are. We're in the lounge room, or as you Americans like to call it, the living room. Just feels a little bit too formal for us. So as the name suggests, it's a loungy area. This is where our family come together to watch movies, hang out by the fire, which is, as we've said, that stole our hearts the minute we first came to the house. So this whole wall is original. Nothing was touched here. You know, as you can see, the fireplace, as soon as, you know, winter hits, all of our family want to come up here because we just, you know, we'll have wine or we'll sit down with popcorn, watch a movie, and everyone congregates around the fire. One piece I'd love to, or two pieces I'd love to highlight is my great-grandmother's 1950s special vase. I don't really know what it is, but I am so in love with this piece. It is, you know, it's a piece of history, it's a piece of heritage from my family passed down, it's an heirloom. And I hope one day my son will take good care of it. So it was very important to showcase this piece. And I just love the colours, you know, from a design perspective, how it complements the red and it really pops off. And this piece here, on one of my travels to Paris, I fell in love with the Sacré-Cœur area, and anyone that's been there knows it's an artist congregation. There's so many different painters and illustrators, and I just fell in love with this pencil drawing, so I thought I'd showcase it here for everyone to see as soon as they walk in the lounge. And of course, I cannot go past my love for Flack Studio. This coffee table book just arrived. It's a perfect addition to our lounge room, but he's just an amazing interior designer and has definitely inspired my journey. And as you can see here, we've got the beautiful curved sofa, just to make it really inviting and open, and again, really thought out for Lenny, being in the wheelchair. Easily accessible for him to get in and around. This vase down here, this big, chunky bad boy, was gifted to me by a very dear friend, and I'm just glad I can finally showcase it in all its beauty. So originally when we moved in, the house was all white. I was heavily pregnant towards the end of the completion stage, and I was having like design paralysis. And decision paralysis. I could not make a decision on the colours. It took me a little while to pick this particular tone, and although it's quite muted and soft, I didn't want it to compete with the space. I really wanted it to slightly cocoon the room, as it is quite a large space. But by only painting the walls and leaving the trims the white, I feel like it brings in that real heritage touch to the space. And to finish off, the Oi Soy Oi UFO pendant light. Can we just please take a moment for this piece of art? Yes, it's functional. It does turn on. It does illuminate the space. But during one of my assignments for school, I specified this, and I knew immediately I need it in real life. So we had the ceiling rows completed, and I thought just to do, you know, again, another little quirky something to the space. Let's paint that the same color as the walls, just again to highlight the artwork and the intricacy of it. And then drop down is our beautiful UFO pendant. I'm just, can't get enough of it. I mean, the color. This Merlot Shirazi colour just speaks to my heart. Again, the colours in here were all intentional. I wanted bold, strong items that can easily evolve with our family and be interchangeable and move around. So if something gets in Lenny's way, we can easily move it and rearrange the furniture. But again, it's speaking to the colours in the space. It interacts well with our coffee table and our couch. And then behind us here is a custom TV unit that we had designed by our cabinet maker. It just houses, you know, candles and little knickknacks that I don't want out, and especially to keep away from my son. But I cannot, guys, Yoon Ceramics. She is a ceramicist here in Melbourne. The minute I found her, I fell in love. I'm very lucky. My fiancé purchased it for me, and I just think it's the perfect complement to the space. My little gallery moment here. I'll need to bring this in, guys, because one of my best friends, she'll be very cross if I don't mention her. I'm her muse. I just want to put out to the world, yes, she copies everything I do, but it's all love. So this is from my dear friend Nikki's wedding. You can see she's very dramatic. So in my past life as a hairdresser, I did do her hair that night. And this is my sister. We're just having a good old time. And this photo captures us in our element and essentially who we are. So I thought it's very important to have this in this space. So the renovation process,
It's still going.
it started off as a few, you know, lick of paint here, need to change this room to make it a bit bigger. Obviously the accessibility side of things was our number one priority. My dad, who's no longer with us, he helped with the entire renovation. So to have his hands in this house everywhere I look just makes me so grateful. It brought us closer, and I guess that helped me realise my passion in the building industry or the renovation industry to lead me into interior design and decoration. So my dad would be quite irritated right now, but I'm going to tell you. So when we came into the house, all the cornices above had a rose detailing on them, which I instantly detested. And I just said, they need to go. Leash, you don't. They're fine. If we take them off, we're gonna have to replace all the plaster. And I said, well, it looks like we're replacing all the plaster then. So Big Nick, as we lovingly referred to him as, big fella, he had his work cut out for him. But once we pulled all the plaster off, we realized the house wasn't insulated. So I will maintain that my OCD with getting the rose cornices off actually helped us get this house insulated. So yeah, so it was, you know, big, that was a massive job. The most important part of it though was the accessibility component. So this is where I learned so much with Lenny and you know, the hands-on experience, that there is nothing, everything needs to be custom to the individual. So Lenny's needs and his ability level needed to all be customized. So we have built a ramp out the front, which we managed to emulate into the house. So it looks like it's been here the entire time. We've got a fair few parts of the house that are recessed, so Lenny's able to make a coffee at the coffee machine, wash some dishes, prepare a meal. And I suppose one of the most wow factors is our ensuite. We took up the old study and made that into the ensuite because I wanted Lenny to have ample space to move around, do a 360, you know, the recessed basin area, I wanted him to be so comfortable, whilst also making sure it looks very good and feels like a luxury hotel every time we go in there. Yeah. I am very lucky that my fiance over here allows my crazy ideas and allowed me to develop all the concept that I had in my mind, because what we've got now, I never could have imagined that we would.
No way. We actually shared it with the previous owners and we sent some photos, and she's like, I could never ever imagine the house looking the way it does. Yeah. She's like, you guys have done a real good job with it. Yeah,
so the main parts that I wanted to hold on to and capture was the heritage style. So there is arches, you know, the layout has remained the same essentially. You know, we've paid homage to the bricks. I just want to bring a bit of Melbourne to the peninsula, and I think that's what we've done. So now we're going to take you through to the dining area. The King Living walnut table. This was a bit difficult to find. I knew I wanted something long and big, just to house all of our family and, you know, host our dinners and our parties. This is perfect. When I designed the lighting, I knew I wanted it to be over a beautiful table, and the light that it's a beautiful amber light, and that's all we have on at night, and it's just so moody. I literally feel like I'm in Europe or Italy when we're eating at dinner time. I've specifically left out a few of my favourite ceramics. Gifted to me from my mother. So being of Italian heritage, our culture, it's referred to as a corni. So basically the chili helps to ward off evil and wrongdoing and bad thoughts. So, you know, having this as a centerpiece is very important for me. It's cultural, it's got meaning. My mum gifted it to me, and I just loved how the color red pops on the walnut. My beautiful sister, who knows me better than anyone, has gifted me these amazing plates. I am born year 89 and I'm the year of the snake. So it's almost so precious to me that I don't put any food on there. It's just for good looks. That is also the European in me coming out. But I love them. Like they're also works of art. Come with me, let's go have a look at this bad boy. So again, King Living. When it was time to purchase some of the furniture, I was quite stumped for this. This wall is very big and bare, and I knew I didn't want to just do a buffet. Initially that was the idea, but I thought, no, surely I can make this a bit more cool and fun. We were able to design exactly how it is built into the home. I love the clean lines that come down, and then we designed exactly how we wanted the shelving to be. Our dear friend, Musti, he got us this wonderful record player. So I just thought that needed to be front and center. And guys, I wasn't joking. Big Nick energy, tears for fears. I like to display some of my, again, more favorite ceramics. This is another family heirloom. So, you know, a couple of years ago, my mum and auntie opened up a shop on the Mornington Peninsula here in Mornington. And they basically had a cafe, so an Italian style cafe, and they sold authentic Murano glass items all the way from Venice. So they would go on sourcing trips. So they would have everything from, you know, vases to jewelry, to the Venetian masks that they had framed for people. And once they closed up, they did hold on to a few precious items, which I've now luckily got my hands on. So this fish, I just thought it was great because we're on the peninsula. So it is the coastline. And I thought it was a great reference to the ocean. I am a big lover of butterflies, so there's always got to be some butterfly somewhere. And then I'll bring you down this. I don't actually know what it is. It could be a vase, it could just be an object. But with a family friend of mine, we were scouring the vintage sheds here in Tyab, another suburb. And we came across this, and it was so inexpensive, but I mean, the detailing, that is like all hand painted. And I just thought that was incredible. Love the shape, love the form. So yeah, she just sits right there. Guys, when I say we're all about the chili in our culture, I love the sculpture. I love what it represents for me and my family, and the colours, like the blue with the red, I think is just beautiful. And then my little baby shrine of Big Nick. He looks quite handsome here, guys. Very proud Macedonian man. So this brings us to the art corner. This is my first proper piece of artwork. This piece is called Isla by Cara Sanders. And Lenny and I, and Attilio, my son, we went to the Melbourne Affordable Art Fair. And it was upon, like, about to leave that I came across this, just by accident. And I stood there. I won't say the exact expletives that I used at the show, but I weirdly almost became emotional when I saw this, which I thought was quite a wanky thing, but it is a thing, guys. Me, I'm a colour gal, and the way it picks up on everything in this space just speaks to my heart and soul of OCD. So it's good. And now, guys, my favourite part. The coffee bar / alcohol bar. In the morning, typically music goes on, coffee machine is on because Lenny always wakes up before me and my son. and we'll congregate here in our PJs and we'll work out, okay, what tune's going to start the day. A lot of the time it's Prince because my son rules the roost in here. And then Lenny is on the machine. So this machine, I hope I do him justice now, is a original Napolitano design. So Naples in Italy, they created this machine. So I'm not going to demo it out of fear that it's going to hurt me. But basically you need to, once you've loaded up the coffee, you're pulling the lever down, you wait a second or two, and then you've got to let it go back up. Funny story with this, when we did go to the shop to buy it, the owner told us how there was quite an arrogant man that thought he knew what he was doing in the shop. And even though the sign said do not touch the machine, he had to touch the machine. And it flung back and actually hit him in his chin. And yeah, blood, it was not a good thing. So we're very cautious of the beauty of this machine, but it has power and it is strong. So this is Lenny's department. So from a design perspective, this is where it was super important that we made this area recessed. I wanted to make sure that Lenny could, come in, do his thing, and be comfortable, not injure his shoulders, which are obviously very important for him. And yeah, this is literally his position in the house. And then up here we have a wonderful display. So there's going to be some Italians out there that are going to be whinging about my dialect, but I don't care. In my family and where we're from, we call this a macchinetta. Okay, people? Macchinetta. This is the original best coffee machine and no one will tell me otherwise. I've got my beautiful collection here. And then to pay homage to Big Nick, God, that man did love to drink and this bad boy was his poison. So it is up there. Aesthetically speaking, the blue and gold works very well as well. But yeah, so we've just got a few of our favourite, alcohols that look good. And then to speak to my Macedonian heritage, my baba, who that's how we say grandmother in Macedonian, I may have stolen a bit of her crystal stuff to make my house look nice and European. So that's that. And now we make our way to the kitchen. So I must share that I was heavily influenced by Athena Calderone, aka I Swoon on Instagram. I came across her kitchen and I instantly fell in love. I loved her use of colour. I loved the way she incorporates a lot of European objects and textures, but it all just flowed. So essentially my kitchen is modelled off her kitchen. So, I knew I wanted to do a blue kitchen. Being so close to the water, I thought it was a really nice reference to that, but blue is also my favourite colour and I really wanted to inject colour in this space. It's very big. I didn't want a plain, boring kitchen. It's not for us. So the colour, it's a 2-pack by Porter's Paints called Yacht Race, I believe. And the handles are by a Melbourne-based company, I'm pretty sure, they're called Low & Co. So 2 women that design these handles. I loved how chunky they were and they kind of, I don't know why, but they kind of give me a medieval vibe. I love how chunky they are. The stone, this took us a very long time to find. So I knew I wanted, obviously, a lighter stone for the top, but it needed to have the right amount of light blue veining and gold veining. This is called Santa Lucia, and this was purchased from CDK Stone. I'm just in love. I mean, we made sure that the range hood was covered in it. I've got my beautiful shelf here. Guys, very American, pot filler. Everyone loves this in the house. We're kind of catching up to you guys, so I love it. Very functional when you need to cook pasta, but also looks bloody good. I'm just in love with this stone, and our stonemason, the way he bookmarked it, the match, like every trade that came in here was literally stopped and stared at it. So to me, again, this is art. I get to look at this every day when I cook in here, and I'm just so grateful that we got it. When choosing soft furnishings for the house, I wanted things to pop in here. Again, I'm sure you can tell by now we're not beige. So this is where we've got the beautiful French cast iron pots. Over here is some just little trinkets that I've found, again, at the Tyab vintage markets. I wanted to bring a bit of an old school vibe to the kitchen. This guy I bought for $12 in Dalesford at a vintage shed. I don't know who the artist is, but this is a proper Australiana landscape, and like, you know, the homes of Australia, what they used to be like back in the day. And I just thought it was so fitting to be here in terms of the colours and, you know, the way the frame like reflects the gold. I absolutely fell in love with it. And this cute little coffee maker over here, this is a Turkish coffee maker, which my mother-in-law gifted me. Again, the colours just pick up beautifully on the stone. It doesn't get used, it is just for looks, but it works perfect. Oh, the wall sconce. My God, another work of art, guys. I knew I wanted a triangular shape light here just to showcase whatever trinkets I had on the shelf. And then I came across this from a place called Lights, 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 and they are mad for lights. I love its form, the shape, the texture of the linen, but then up the top you can see it's like a metal with like a gold rod through it. Again, it's kind of a bit of a medieval reference for me. And I love that harshness with the soft. I think it's beautiful. And then just down here, another piece from my mum and auntie's store. This is hand-blown Murano glass vase. It could be used for as just an object on its own. I just, again, love how the red is so polarizing to everything, but for me it just works. I think it just is such a beautiful piece of art. And then to finish up the shelf, I've got some vintage pieces from Tyab Vintage Shed. This was gifted from my mother-in-law, just a pestle and mortar. So now we're in our little breakfast nook. Originally, this is where the family that originally owned the house had their dining table. So this is all custom built, the cabinetry underneath and the bay seating area situation. We knew that we wanted the space where the dining table is to be large and grand for our family and our gatherings. So I always had the idea that to fill the gap here, it would be nice to have another little seated area, especially because, you know, if it's just me with my son, I don't want to have to sit on a big grand table by myself. So it's nice to come and sit here. And I especially love this doorway is basically the entry that my family come in. So they'll come in, throw their bags down, take a seat and place their order with Lenny. So our joke is that it's become our little cafe moment where, yeah, we order coffee and, as Europeans do, just talk each other's ears off on the latest gossip of what's happening in Mornington. Also, this is where we enjoy our croissants. When it came time to picking stools, I was searching and searching for a long time, and there was just nothing that I was interested in. And then I had come across a company called Grazia & Co. So they are a Melbourne-based design company. They've got the rights to some beautiful designs, and these were custom made by them. So I'd gone into their showroom, and we sat down and basically, you know, I had explained that these will be used at a bench. Eventually, when my son gets older, if we have more kids, you know, family, they needed to be durable as well as look good. So we've used a beautiful vinyl fabric to tie in with the beige colour of the leather on the chairs. And then I thought to do something a little bit different, I went with a really cool speckled fabric up the top. So, you know, you can just see the different textures, how they all sit together. And then the powder coat finish was a beautiful light beige to tie it all in together with that brass detailing on the footrest. And I love that they easily fit with the island bench. They don't overpower it, it's all complementative. So my OCD is very happy with that. Now let's go have a look at some beautiful architectural features of the home. So as you can see here, I spoke about this, that there was elements in the house that were originally here that I did not want to remove. I wanted to showcase and celebrate. This arch and corbels is one of them. They were original. They're just so special to me. I just think the design speaks for itself. It's just a beautiful arch with a beautiful detailed corbel, and we've kept it white because I think it speaks for itself. Nothing else needs to be said or done about that. But I just love that this is the way that people that come to my home for the first time, they walk through this beautiful architectural design. So this is the grand hallway. This is what people see when they come to my house for the first time. And basically, this is where I want to set the mood of the house. You'll see we've got two pretty cheeky photos of me and Lenny, but this literally sums up our relationship and our vibe. Very cheeky, very funny, always love to have a good time, have a few drinks. And then finally, the man of the house, the king himself, Alishia Redrose, born very grumpy and very angry, but is actually a very happy kid. So yeah, I really wanted just, a gallery wall of our family just to showcase the home and the love and the craziness, really, that makes us us. The beautiful pendant lights, which we had brought in when we moved in. My dad, Mr. Big Nick, put in the ceiling roses for me. There was none here. And I just thought it was very important to add in a bit more detailing in this hallway, which I felt ties in perfectly with the arches and the corbels and that era. I'm just so happy with the detail in this house. To keep it all white in here actually made sense to me. So the detailing could speak for itself. This is original with the house, and it's, again, just so fitting because there's actually 2 red roses here. So this is why we chose to call our house the Red Rose Residence. It is my fiance's surname, and as he likes to remind me, I'm the wannabe Red Rose in the household because I haven't changed my name yet. Come with me into the master bedroom. This is the epicenter of the moodiness at Red Rose Residence. Now, I must credit Mr. Lenny himself. I could have possibly still been wanting to make a decision on the colour in this room, so he helped me, and this colour is actually all him. It is by Dulux, an Australian paint company called Bull Kelp. It is, I dare say, got a bit of a grey undertone, which I think that's what works so well in here. It's not polarising, it's not too green, but it does the job of bringing in that moodiness. So I purchased this bed head for the house once, we had everything rolling. Again, the wavy reference to the ocean is what I was drawn to, and I love the fabric. I love the black stitching, the piping, and I just knew, being a Libra, I couldn't make my decision. Every time I change my bed, it's a different colour. It's a very neutral backdrop, and I can have anything on here. So right now we've just done a beautiful linen coverlet, a couple of pillows, just keeping it nice and simple and clean and calming. And here, lights, lights, lights. These are our wall sconces that are also double up as our bedside lamps. Lenny likes to go to bed early, I like to stay up late. So it was important that I specified something that would not irritate him while he's trying to sleep. So these can move side to side, so you can direct the light wherever you want them. I love the shape. I love that you've got a clean line, but you've got the softness of the curve of the shade, as well as the beautiful curvature on the wall that you see. And again, tying into the gold elements of the house, the brass fixture and the black. I just think it's such a sexy piece. And now we're in the ensuite. So the palette was inspired by our trip to Italy. We were surrounded by very old travertine and marble, so that's where the tiles came into play. I wanted to make this more of a warm colour palette as opposed to the green that you saw in the earlier bathroom. So this is where these beautiful textured terracotta subway tiles come in. The tile that really sealed the deal for me was this guy. It is a marble mosaic with a few different marble colours in there, and I saw it, and it's the most expensive flooring in the whole house. But we had to have it. We had to have it. It was a non-negotiable. 2, tie everything together is the porcelain benchtop with its subtle veining, caramelly, warmer tones. Your gold hardware, our I guess you call this a pill-shaped basin. But as you can see, it's recessed here. So the design aspect of this bathroom was completely to have Lenny's interests at heart. We originally wanted to have an undermount basin, but unfortunately for anyone that is in a wheelchair, they need proper access when they're sitting. That wouldn't allow for that. So then this is where we had to make a change, and this is where it can be quite frustrating during a renovation or build process. But you've got to think on your toes. So it was very important to find something that wasn't too high, that will allow him the accessibility that he needs. We designed with our cabinet maker just some storage here. Again, Low & Co handles. I love this like almond shape. I thought they looked like beautiful jewelry, like just little buttons or little earrings. And in here, our shaver cabinets, we've got all storage in there. This beautiful wall sconce is made of stone from Lights. Fell in love with this as well. So again, at night when you just want to brush your teeth or something, I think for me it was like imperative to get the lighting right. So we've got the original window, which I thought it would be great for natural light, and then this little guy at night just gives you it gives you the ample lighting that you need without burning your eyeballs before you go to bed. And then to finish off, the party shower. There can be multiple people in here if we needed. We don't, just us two and my son, but I love it. I designed this with the idea that I want to feel like I'm at a fancy schmancy hotel every time I have a bloody shower. And we've got the beautiful fluted glass. And then, I just thought it'd be a really nice, I'm a Libra, we know this, guys. I need balance in my life. So it is probably the world's biggest niche, unnecessarily big niche, but it looked good from out here. So it needed to be that big. And there you have it, my ensuite. So my design journey started off over a year ago. Friend of a friend started following me, and I realised she had a new design page. She was doing a home renovation. And as you do, I've proven I'm a bit of a stalker. Went through, had a look, and found this course called Design School online. After completing our renovation, I realised as stressful as the whole journey was to get here, I really, really enjoyed it. I enjoyed learning about, hard and soft materials, picking colours, decorating. And I thought, I'd given up my career in hairdressing to have my son through IVF, but I was yearning for something more. I knew I didn't just want to be a stay-at-home mum, and I needed a creative outlet. So I looked into this course, applied for it, got in, much to my surprise. And then within a couple weeks of me, or a couple months of me figuring out this course, I was locked in to start. So I'm now officially an interior decorator, fully qualified.
Congrats. Well done, baby.
And then, so basically, before I graduated, another friend reached out, and my first project is her brand new Pilates studio. So I'm currently working on my first project. I've just had my first project shot, and now I get to share with everyone my labour of love that we both, kind of did together. And so basically from here on, I will be progressing with my business, Redrose Designs, look it up. And I'm an interior decorator. I cannot believe that this is now the career I've landed. I'm just so excited. Welcome to Redrose Designs HQ. This room is newly designed. Basically, I wanted to just showcase, I've got a beautiful flat lay here of a project that I'm working on. This is where the magic happens. This is where I come in here, sit down, and where my ideas start flowing. The main things I want to show you guys is, again, just a beautiful collection of my favorite objects. Fornacetti, check those guys out. We've got dinosaur designs, just love the red popping on the red, or the burgundy. And another vintage piece, and Miss Yoon Ceramics, my first piece from her, love it. This is a piece from my previous hairdressing life where I had two lovely clients gave me this, so it helps your IVF journey. So they gifted me this before I closed my business to go have my son through IVF. So shout out to the beautiful gals that got me that. And finally in here, the briefcase. This is my dad's briefcase, Big Nick's. He used to hound us and bring it on every family holiday and not open it. It is so weathered, it's just busted. But I purposely placed it here so when I'm having a bit of a down day or bit of a lull, I use this as inspiration for me to not give up. Dad's briefcase is sitting upon my first Art Deco piece of furniture. There's a woman here in Melbourne that sells vintage furniture and sources amazing items, and she listed this, and I didn't know if it was going to fit in here. I didn't know how I was going to get it in my house, but I literally said, it's sold, please, I need it. Don't get it off as a listing, I want it. And I'm just so glad I listened to my gut and followed through, because it's from the Art Deco era. It is in such wonderful, beautiful condition. It's only been in one family, so I feel very lucky to have this. And basically it houses all of my materials. So it's got my materials library in there. But again, I use this as a source of inspiration on how you can easily blend the eras if you just put a bit of consideration and thought into the design. And then sitting atop is, I am big Riri Bad Gal fan. So her coffee table book, followed by my other favourite interior designer, Callie Worsler. And here we are in the green quarters. The design of this bathroom was born from my trip to Italy the year that we started our renovation. We had stayed in an Airbnb in Puglia, and these glossy tiles that you see, the Airbnb had a more olive colour, but I was instantly inspired and I said, I need a green bathroom. I've always been a big fan of check. So you can see on the floor here, there is a green and white marble check floor. Again, speaking to my Italian heritage, we needed marble in here. Finishing off with beautiful gold hardware, a vintage antique bath, just to give that, this is where I kind of like to tie in the Federation era and style of the home, but modernising it with the fluted glass as the shower screen. And then to warm up the space, I've just used a little bit of a walnut timber on the cabinetry and a beautiful porcelain bench top that just, for me, brings all those colours together.
So the non-negotiables for me was outside. That's my department with
Your domain.
My domain, where I do a lot of my all my magic really. So
Tell them about what you did to Mark to get that.
So one of the caveats of buying the house, Mark, the original owner of the property, I've got an Argentinian perilla, and I said to him, I go, I need this brickwork done. And he goes, I'm retired. I go, well, if you want to sell the house, you need to come out of retirement and do the brickwork for me. And he's like, done. I'll do whatever you need. So yeah, outside for me is my domain. We've got outdoor speakers. I've got a wood fire oven. I've got a gas barbecue that's plumbed in natural gas, so I don't have to worry about gas bottles, which makes my life easy, obviously. And I've got the perilla. So I've actually got a drop-down TV as well, which will definitely show you.
And your awning.
And my awning.
We'll have to show everyone how the awning goes.
So no, for outside obviously was my main thing, but then within the house as well, having things at the recessed location and things like that was always a non-negotiable as well. All right, folks, so we're heading out to my domain with my little lift. So yeah, this is where all the magic happens for me. You know, we've got the pool and stuff, we've got all the cooking area, we've got an electric awning, so if it rains, like today, I mean, we can still do what we've got to do. It's a bit slow, this thing. So as we come around here, we've got our beautiful pergola with a drop-down TV, which I'll expose later. We've had this wood fire oven installed. Same thing, you know, thinking about accessibility, we've made sure I can get underneath it to do all I've got to do. And, you know, in here we do some mad tomahawks, we've done some lamb racks. We're due to do some slow cooking over the spring and summer this year. This is obviously the storage for the wood fire. And as I explained earlier on inside, this is the gas barbecue. So this is plumbed in gas, so no gas bottle. Makes it just a bit easier with a disability and whatnot. I've had it freshly cleaned for today, so it doesn't look this good all the time. And this is my pride and joy, my Argentinian grill, the perilla. I've cooked on this more times, I reckon I've cooked inside. It allows me to do slow cooks, quick cooks. high heat, low heat. So yeah, this is definitely my domain, and this bad boy here actually comes out to protect us from all the extremity,
elements.
from the elements. That's right.
Yeah.
So with the backyard, we've our landscaper, we've had all this redone, all the roses. We've had the whole house irrigated, from all the garden beds to the lawns. Yeah, everything's been thought about meticulously in that way. Just same thing, accessibility-wise, and make things a bit easier for me. I've made sure everything has been done properly.
You'll also notice the use of colour. So we completely changed the colour of all the trims, the windowsills, the entertaining gazebo here, right down to painting the custom table that was made for the space. It needed to be freshened up. We needed to add our touch of Melbourne, which of course is a great monument to be exact, the world famous monument. So everything here, that's our bit of crazy OCD and essentially wanted everything to connect. So everything is the same colour, from the hose reel to Lenny's lift. He had that powder coated in monument. Behind us, behind Geordie, you'll see the pool, like the pool accessories we did in a beautiful black. We wanted to bring in the masculine out here. And I think what softens it beautifully is the landscaping, adding the hedges. The roses had to stay. That's what essentially made the house out here. But all we did in terms of landscaping was just pared it back. We added in some red geraniums, which are like one of my favourite flowers. And you'll see around, like, the flowers are now, despite this ugly, rainy, typical Melbourne day, spring has sprung and the flowers are starting to bloom. So it's an exciting time of year because we know that the warm weather's coming and that pool is going to get a workout. My favourite part of our home, I've had to really think about this, but I would say our coffee bar / alcohol bar area. Not for the alcohol part, but
Lies.
We have made a custom in our family to wake up in the morning and put on really upbeat music. And we want to show our son, you've got to start your day on the right foot. So,
or no feet.
Or wheels. So we get up in the morning, Lenny will put on the music, and it's always something from the 80s because we need to educate these young generation good music. And obviously, since Dad's passing, he's a Tears for Fears fan. So, straight away, his song is on. And my son just recognises the music straight away. And we're literally, running around the island bench, jumping around. And that's something that we've created for our own little family.
Our little crazy.
And, the coffee bar is where me and Lenny, we always discuss our ideas, whether we're having a good day or a bad day. That's the congregation point, isn't it?
It is, literally of the whole house.
Yeah, so that's my favourite part.
I would have to say outside for me, especially when we first moved in. But like Alishia said, our house in Strathmore was quite small, and it wasn't accessible in any way, shape, or form. So then once we, came here, I'd be outside cooking on the barbecue. I have the music on. I've got a kegerator, so I'd pour myself a beer. And I just really loved even just having the moment on my own to be able to, bring the food to the table and spend that time. Like, I really love the process of cooking. So for me, outside is definitely my favourite place.
The word home means to me love, coziness, safety, and sharing that with the people you love. There's no point in having a grand house or apartment or anything if there's no love there, if you can't share it with the people that you love. So what makes a home to me is love and the people in it.
For me, sanctuary. So this is our place, our palace, our safety. My son's going to grow up here pretty much for as long as possible. I think all the memories that we've created here as well, I think that's what home means to me.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.